Okay, so I have my original CIF issued Army combat helmet. It's as dirty as I left it. This has been with me throughout all of these field training exercises, and if you want to know how to still keep your original Army combat helmet, well, try to find one the exact same size and switch that out. They won't care, and you will have the one that you've been originally issued, that you've taken out through all these field training exercises. And remember, there is no thieves in the Army, just everyone trying to get their stuff back. Moving on, let's talk about in June 20th. Why is that so special, and why am I even uploading on this day? I'm supposed to wait for another month to upload. Well, silly child, that is a day that I was honorable discharged from the Armed Services, El Army. What I'm gonna do here is basically talk about my military experience from basic training all the way down to the dog unit that I was in, and the reason why I got out after 5.5 years. So without further crack, I went to Fort Leonard Wood during the tail end of winter, beginning of spring. February to April was a really good time. Getting my hips all up and shit. Not entirely up, but anytime I do a push-up or do something like this, you can hear my bones doing a little. Oh, no. Maybe it's just me getting old. I don't know. Anyways, obviously, drill sergeant meanies, you know, they do their thing. They teach us to soldier. That is that. We didn't have phones up until the tail end. So, you know, we've only made like maybe 2 calls throughout the entire time. It was a fun time. It was a fun time getting strep throat from hanging out in the bay with different dudes from across the world, from Ghana, Nigeria, Togo, United Kingdom, El Salvador, so forth. Everybody from across the world. We were super diverse without being cringe. Moving forward, we went DINFOS, aka the CIA headquarters, aka Fort Meade. I was there from April of 2019 up until June of 2019. Did I finish training? No. I failed one of the final exams, and they were like, yeah, you're getting booted out the 25 Romeo course, but you're stupid. You know what's also fun? My drill sergeant walks up to me and he's like, okay, well, since you failed your MOS, give me 5 MOSs that you would like to serve in, or alternate MOSs. Now, I don't know why he did this. I really don't. The Army is just going to assign you wherever the they want to go. Usually within your own MOS. So if you're going 92 series, let's just say you failed mechanic, you're probably going to be a cook. Because 25 Romeo deals with like mainly multimedia, but you're fixing the equipment. The hamster spinning the wheel in my brain could not comprehend some of the equations for ohms. And again, I was trying to learn it. After one failed test, they're like, get the fuck out. Great. I love the attrition rate of that MOS being like 60 to 70%. Cool. I don't know why it's that fucking high. It's not cyber, but whatever. They switched me over to 25 November. So this actually takes me to my next duty station, which is in Fort Gordon. So I was at 551st Signal Battalion Commandos. This is my Phase 4 badge. I do have a Phase 5 Plus badge now, for those who know. This just means you can't go anywhere outside of like formations and shit. So can't go to PX, whatever. Actually, I think you can. You just have to do it while in formation, because man, it's been so long. But I believe there's always a PX run that you have to go in formation at certain times, which is big suck that you got your Phase 5 and then your Phase 5 Plus. Now, I was a good little noodle. I never got my Phase 5 Plus revoked. I always stayed in my lane, but I was no snitch either. I've seen some shit going around. I've seen soldiers beat the shit out of each other, and sure, if you see something, say something. Hey, listen, man, they're out there handling their beef. I do not give a shit. That ain't none of my concern. What I've also seen is a drill sergeant get demoted. I'm not gonna say his name. However, Sharp, they don't fuck around with Sharp. I don't know what this drill sergeant was doing. However, the story goes, I think he may have gotten mad or whatever, opened the door of a female's barracks room or whatever, and he got bumped down from E6 to E5. Now, I don't know the entire story, but let's be real. If you just entered a female's barracks room, I don't think you'll just get bumped down to E5. You might have done something a little squirrely. So, I've been holding on to this for years, bro. I'm not going to show the Phase 5 badge because, well, it has my actual legal name on it. So, y'all don't need to see it. You're just going to have to take my word for it. I don't care if you don't believe me. However, I was at Fort Gordon. I passed my 25 November school, even though I did not like doing any of the Cisco troubleshooting and so forth. I only started to like it when I got into my second unit. But before I got to my second unit, I had went to Korea. Korea with the 41st Signal Battalion, 1st Signal Brigade, I think 501st Signal Company. It was a good time there. I mean, I didn't really do my MOS. I was literally just holding fucking doors open. That was just the extent of it. Korea, very beautiful place. They also mimic a lot of American cuisine, and they do it so fucking good. But I think it's mainly due to the fact that residing here, you kind of get so used to the food here that you're just like, anything new is just so good. That's how I see it. Their McDonald's, amazing, very good. Unfortunately, I came during the pandemico, so not as much travel I could have done. I wanted to go to Japan because it was a, cheap flight. But now I got to pay $1,000 because I live back in the United States, and traveling all the way to Japan costs cash money. So you love to see it. I fucking hate China. Moving on, aside from being in secondary anime land, Korea, I'm gonna piss off so many people saying that shit. I don't give a fuck. I left there, which is kind of funny, because I was actually supposed to extend, but my Deros didn't fucking change, which I'm actually kind of glad it didn't, because I was starting to feel homesick, because a whole year in Korea, when I can't handle firearms, I get a little, sweet home Alabama. Okay, no, I don't get Alabama. I miss this shit. I just miss holding this. Now, unfortunately, in Korea, gun ranges are very expensive. I believe each round you shoot is about $5 per round. And they have this fucking stupid mechanism where, let's just say you wanted to rent a Walther PPQ. They usually have Glocks, but let's just say that. There's a mechanism over here. Basically, it just kind of like blocks the gun, so you can't just turn it on yourself, because Korea has a very noticeable high suicide rate. And one of the things people like to do, not in Korea specifically, but in general, from what I've seen from having unrestricted access to the internet, is some people go to the gun range to blow their brains out. Not very cool. And when I say noticeable, I mean noticeable. Like, I went hiking with my friends, and we had seen a guy, with a rope around his neck and a tree. Oh, and his body was decaying, so you can kind of discern that he took himself out of the equation. Well, it's not very cool. Not very cool to see. It's not like super traumatic. It's just one of those unfortunate circumstances. I haven't seen anybody Kermit lifeless, at least witnessed it, or at least witnessed a body here. Anyways, moving on, we're going to go to my final duty station, which was Fort Bliss in El Paso, Texas. Now, if you've been to El Paso, there's literally nothing to do. The only redeeming thing about El Paso is that there was some public land that you can go out and shoot, because it's right on the border of New Mexico, which is also just a fucking big desert that's just empty, and you can go shoot. I forgot which highway it is. I think it's 310 or whatever, but it's on the New Mexico border where the Love's gas station is. But there's a highway, and if you turn to the right, there's just this path where people do like 4x4, trailing with ATVs and shit. They'll come to that area too, but there's a big mountain right there. You just shoot into it, and there you go. So, guns in El Paso, Texas. What's funny is that, of course, if you go to a military base, if you want to bring your guns, yes, you are allowed, but you have to register it with the provost marshal and then have it secured in the arms room. I didn't do any of that shit. And since it's been a year that I've been stationed at Fort Bliss, and that I am no longer part of the Uniform Code of Military Justice in certain circumstances, I'm just going to blatantly admit that I have brought guns on post without registering it. Now, that's a fucking no-no on any military base. I don't recommend doing it. However, I found my ways because all I wanted to do was go shoot without bothering the NCO of the arms room during their weekend, because let's face it, your plans to go shoot is really dependent on if that arms room NCO wants to go to the arms room, sign your weapon out, and so forth. And then you have to come back and sign it back in. Fuck all that. I kept that shit in my car and in my barracks room. I do not care. Like, fuck all that. I love shooting. What I don't love is being restricted of my Second Amendment rights. I digress though. I keep these on me. Heard many stories of people getting kidnapped in El Paso, and I was like, fuck that. Carrying this big boy here. Average size boy, but I digress. There was also a time where I almost got caught with that shit. Wasn't a great time. Yeah. We're just kind of lucky that they didn't have bomb sniffing dogs. They just had like the drug sniffing dogs, from what I know. Because one of my boys went to BLC with an MP, and he mentioned that they have dogs doing specific things, because I think it takes more time to train one dog to discern multiple things versus having two dogs do different things, but they mainly look for drugs. I mean, shit, man. Like, I've seen soldiers in my barracks walk out in handcuffs because they had like fentanyl and shit. Like, you get to see that the Army takes a lot of no-no people that probably shouldn't even be alive, if I'm going to be honest with you. There was a story about a sergeant first class who, I don't know if it was true or not. It was just kind of like random barracks talk. I didn't really see it in the local news or whatever, but if I find it, I will post it somewhere around here. Maybe on my titty, I don't know. About a sergeant first class beating the brakes off his wife. The wife's son, or this sergeant first class's stepson, grabbed his 9mm, go bang, and that's what happened. That 12-year-old kid shot and killed that sergeant first class, and the world is better knowing that that piece of shit is in the grave. Because God forbid you pull rank on me, and I know that you've done all this other shit, because I am not gonna respect you. I will take a fucking Article 15. There's a lot of leaders on that base that I have seen that do not deserve any respect. I don't care about your rank, but that's why I am a veteran now. That's why they said, okay, you're getting a little too big, and you were injured during this last NTC rotation. So what we're gonna do is basically administratively separate you because you're a little too big, you know, and we don't want to injure you any more than you have to be. So here's an administrative separation for being a fat ass, and you still get your benefits. Get the fuck out. So that is the journey of my military service in a nutshell. So I might do Army videos giving you tips and tricks, but we'll see. Like, for the most part, I can't even record videos because I don't have enough espacio to record, because everybody's still in the house. I don't want to go through the trouble of taking people's voices out of the background. I'd rather just have silence. So much easier. What I might do is what Asmongold and Tectone do, which is pull out my OBS, my face cam at the bottom, give my takes. Maybe that's content, but it won't be like what I'm doing here. I'll still do this form of content, but it takes a good bit of time. And also, again, everybody's always here when they're not. But I hope y'all enjoyed. And as always, it has been your boy, Deuces.